Do you remember the first thing that you ever manifested in your life? Like the first thing that you dreamt of and it actually showed up? You probably didn't know at the time that you were manifesting or that you actually created that thing to show up in your life. You probably felt like it was a coincidence or just something that happened. But I just want you to know that you have power. Like, you literally have a superpower. And I was 15 years old when I realized that I had this power. My dad had bought me a car, and the car was so ugly. It was so ugly. I was appreciative, but the car was ugly. It was a Phoenix Pontiac, baby blue, two-door, one of those cars where everybody had to kind of go together to push the seat up. It was like 1, 2, 3, go. I didn't even have a license yet, but he bought me this car, surprised me with this car. I had no idea I was getting this car. And I tried to hide my disappointment because I know how hard he worked to get me the car. But I was disappointed. And all I did was I thanked him and I said, Dad, I wanted to pick out my car, but thank you. So anyway, long story short, kept the car, drove the car with pleasure because I had a car, and very few few people that I knew, friends of mine, had their own car. So took care of the car. Finally got my license so I could actually drive the car, and then all those things happened. But took care of the car. But the whole time I went back to what I was taught in the church, which was ask, believe, receive. And so I was taught that whatever you ask for, you take it to God in prayer and you'll get it. And so being, 15 years old, 16 years old, like I said, at the time, once I got my license, you just kind of believed what you're taught. And so I know that manifesting seems like it might be easier when you're younger because you don't know any better. You just do what you're told. But you didn't even realize you were manifesting. You didn't even realize how powerful you actually were at the time. You didn't have all this other stuff blocking your brain to make you feel like you couldn't have whatever you asked for. And so that's where manifesting became my superpower. That's where I realized that, oh, I can ask, believe that I'm going to get it, and then I get it. So fast forward, my request, my prayer at the time was, Dear God, please let something happen to this car so that no one gets hurt and I get to pick out the car that I desire to have. I don't think I said desire, but I said the car that I want. I wanted a Camaro. I wanted a sports car, one of the big V8 engine fast cars. Did I need that car at the time? No. So anyway, I felt like the only way I was going to get that was to ask God, because there was no way I was going to be able to go to my dad or my mom and say, hey, I want this car. It's fast. It's a V8 engine. I could probably die if I go over the speed limit in this car. But that's the car I want. Can you get it? So because I couldn't do that, I had to go to a greater power. And again, that's what I was taught. I was taught you ask, you believe, and you receive. So long story short, I was driving to visit a boyfriend at the time. And as I'm driving down the road, there's these people next to me, and they're telling me with their windows up, because I grew up in a small, cold, freezing cold town in the winter, Midwest, and it was snow outside, so their windows were up, my windows were up. We're driving down the road. I'm going to see this boyfriend of mine in a whole nother city, and they're telling me, I'm like, huh? They said, So, if you can't read my lips or what I'm saying or understand what I'm saying your car is on fire. That is what the people next to me driving down the road were saying. And I said, mouthing back to them what they had just mouthed to me. And they said, yes. I said, okay. So I pull over into this bank parking lot. People come running out because they too, like I, now see flames shooting up from underneath my car. So I literally had to open the door and step over flames. This is a true story, y'all. And so, step over flames. Now, mind you, I said I was going to visit this boyfriend. I had a cookie cake in the back seat of the car, so I had to get back in the burning car to get that cake. So I opened up the door and I reached to the back and I get the cake, save the cake, didn't get burned, shut the door, and I move away from the car. Everyone's in a frantic. They're panicking. They're like, are you okay? Oh my God, what happened? And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I'm driving down the street and someone told me my car's on fire. So here I am. And they're like, oh no, oh my God. So I'm calling my dad, telling him my car's on fire. The fire department comes and they put the fire out and they're like, ma'am, you could have actually saved the car if you'd have, rolled the windows down. And I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure that's what they said. But I'm thinking in my head, it's all good. It's all good. I was so happy inside that this car is on fire because guess what? I got my Camaro as a result of that car being on fire. And it just goes to show that how things manifest. You don't necessarily know how it's going to happen, but the key takeaway in this is to be very specific about what it is you want. And you put it out there. Back then, we called it prayer, ask, believe, receive. That's what I was taught. Now I refer to it as manifesting. But it's actually all one and the same thing. It's manifesting the thing that you want. And the way you do that is you put it out there to the universe, to God. That's your asking. And then you just simply live your life. Literally just live your life every day with positivity, which is you're believing that it's coming. You're not sitting around worrying. You're not looking at your time clock. You're not, overly anxious for when it's going to happen. You just believe that it's going to happen. So all that happened within I guess the whole manifestation process took approximately a year, maybe a little less. But throughout that process, I'm just being me. I'm driving the car. I'm taking care of the car, putting gas in the car, washing the car, and enjoying having the car. Never throughout that whole time where I had put that request out there, did I, drive it, begrudgingly or disgruntled because I wasn't happy with the car. I just knew it's going to come. I asked for the car, believed it was going to come, and I waited for it to come. So just know that when you make a request to the universe, when you put it out there, just go live your life. Be happy. Do things that make you feel good. Focus on things literally that are not keeping you in a state of panic or worry about the thing that you say you want. Don't live your life as if you can't live your life unless you have that thing. Feel gratitude for what it is that you have currently and just continue to be appreciative because you know what you've asked for is coming. So that's my tip for you today, is to manifest the thing that you want by appreciating what you have now and knowing that ultimately it's coming. You don't necessarily know when, but just know it's coming. And when I got that black Camaro, because that's what at that point I got to get the car that I wanted. Because I prayed for something to happen to the car. The car could not be fixed, and no one got hurt. Those were my 3 very specific requests when I put it out there. And everything that I asked for came exactly like that. So be very specific on the thing that you want to manifest. And I'm going to be very specific now. If you're not already following me, go ahead and follow now, subscribe to my channel, and like the video, and share the video if you're so inclined to do so, and keep returning, because I'm going to give you so much more on how to manifest, ways that are going to benefit you, like practical tips that you can take away and apply to your own life. So thank you for coming back. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time. Have a wonderful day.